So, for whatever reason, I don't even know why this is coming up, but Greg Miller of Kind of Funny, that's the media corporation. He believes apparently that PC gaming is a blight. Now I'm going to go over the tweet. This is all in reference to apparently Helldivers getting mixed reviews on Steam due to crashes, pay to win, and anti-cheat DRM. Not really sure how there's an pay to win purely because it's a co-op game. There's no PvP. And also the anti-cheat DRM, it's anti-cheat. I mean, actually, well, it's an online, always online game. So I guess they want to make it so you can't like infect other people. I don't know, but the crashes, honestly, kind of expect a lot of games on launch these days that have like a cross launch with console. Typically, aren't really focused on the PC side, but whatever. But when they do work, it's awesome. So apparently Greg Miller, he tweets here, and it's not apparently, he just says this. Thoughts and prayers to all the PC gamers who, for the checks notes, 473rd time, thought their infinite hardware configurations would lead to a flawless launch experience. Obviously, sarcasm. If only there was a Game Award winning gamer telling them for 17 years that PC gaming is a blight. If only there was a, I don't know, quote unquote, station of play where games just worked and were designed for one platform. But I hear you, PC gamers. You gotta have your nude mods and titty mouse pads and 15 button mouses. Makes sense. Fair trade for their working game for 169 frames per second. And then he this is the part that confuses me only because I'm not sure if it's super serious, but then he comments on the own thing. He says we got him and then tags someone else. So let's discuss this for a second. If I'm taking this at face value, what the fuck are you talking about? That PC gaming is a blight. Yeah, man, I really hate not having to pay a multiplayer fee to Steam. That's terrible, right? I can't stand it. I would love to give Steam money to just to play online with my friends. I hate that, for example, again, Steam has remote play, so I can play local co-op with friends who aren't actually here. I hate that I can play my friend's game library, although apparently you can on PlayStation too, but it's like a workaround thing. Like PC gaming, I personally have gone from PC to like console to back to PC, and after comparing them, it's like, why the consoles is just never up to snuff unless you're a content creator. If you're a content creator, the best part about consoles, right, is that it offloads the gaming stress on your streaming PC. If you have a dual PC setup, which is for the higher echelon of streamers, then you're fine, right? There's literally no compromise you need to make because the other PC is running the stream, which is part of the stress, and then the game or the PC you're on is running the game. So that's why it works so well for dual PC setups. Those of us who aren't privileged to get to that point, if you have a console, it helps tremendously because when the game's on the console's running the game, you run that through a capture card, and then your PC is just basically mostly only worrying about the stream / record. So there's pros and cons to each side, but if you're really a casual gamer, you want your games to just work, 9.9 times out of 10, you just go console, right? Unlike games where it's like Cyberpunk Unlocked, that even on console, it was just unplayable, which is like super rare, but it happens. But back to Greg Miller here, if the implication here, which I'm taking at face value, like that, I am taking him seriously, even though I think he's mostly a comedian. It's just ridiculous that it's implying that you don't want another option. And I know before I mentioned all these things about Steam, but you have Epic Games, you have Green Man. Well, I mean marketplaces like Green Man Games. There's a GOG, I believe, is a launcher. I could be wrong on that. Look, also for what it's worth, I don't like multiple launchers. Like I hate that I have to go through Uplay. Even if I buy a game on Steam that uses Ubisoft, it still runs through Uplay basically. I don't like that. But I do like having a gaming monitor. I like having like talking to my friends on Discord, which Discord has been on console. Don't get me wrong, but it's nothing like it's not as fun as on PC. So what Greg Miller is talking about here about just having like where games just work because they're designed for one platform. I understand it to a degree, but you're mad, you're upset at people complaining that the game is crashing. Even though it's hard for developers. Honestly, it's hard for developers to work with PC because there's so many different configurations you have to account for. You know, it's like, it's kind of like you have to do like a jack of all trades, you know, all these different configurations. But, you know, the fact that I don't have to have a stupid performance or quality mode outweighs consoles by a long shot. Also, I have a Steam Deck, so I get to play my games portably too, so that's very nice. It's just so stupid that that he thinks that PC gaming is a blight. Yeah, you know, it's so wrong to enjoy actually being able to play games like 2K and 4K with no compromises. I don't know about you, but who actually likes the compromise of having a next gen console, but then it's running at 1080p at 60, or you can do like quality mode, which is 4K at 30. And honestly, at this point, I don't think it's going to get much better in terms of hardware to quality performance mode. I think a lot of companies are just going to, you know, not deal with optimizing their game to the full extent. Halo is the only game I can actually think of that goes to 4K and 120 FPS. That game is like perfectly optimized for the Series X. But, you know, beyond that, games, even first-party games, just don't normally even have a 4K 60 option, which was like kind of a selling point. You know, a lot of casual gamers these days actually have 4K TVs to utilize it. Personally, I think 4K is kind of overrated. On PC gaming, it's just not worth it. It is way too much stress on any PC, even the highest end. I'm okay with 2K. Honestly, I can see there between 1080p and 2K. Not that much difference for me from 2K to 4K. It's not even worth it for me. And I'm okay with just sticking at 2K. Hell, I'd probably be okay with just sticking at 1080p if it comes down to it. So, Greg, you know, I hear you, but it's just nice to have the option to have mods. It's nice that I can have games running at 120 frames, because some games don't have 60 frames and it hurts my eyes. I'm not sure if that's an elitist take, but look, unless you're an indie game like a pixel game or something, there's a lot of games that don't need past 30, and that's fine. But the first thing comes to mind is Dishonored 2. I got that. It's on Game Pass, I believe, and it on console it's locked to 30 frames. Why is it locked to 30 frames? I don't understand. It could have got Xbox's like frame boost, but I guess they never got to it for some reason. But it just hurts my eyes because on Dishonored 1 was 60 and it was smooth, and then when I played it, I booted up, I'm like, what is this? And it's just like, you could easily tell that it was in 30 frames, and that sucks. I'm sorry, but I at this point, like 60 is where the smoothness just begins. You don't really even have to go over 60. Some games, you know, you can just cap at 60 and be happy with it. Competitive shooters, you probably want, I mean, as high as you can go, according to your refresh rate. But, you know, yeah, you know, he says fair trade and that they're working games for 169 frames per second. You know what? Yeah, I do. Sorry, I like, you know, a lot of frames per second. And I don't think, even if PC didn't exist, I don't think game makers would have that much more incentive to optimize the console games. It's just, I just feel like this is such a massively bad take. You know, okay, you know what? PC games are gonna crash, especially on launch. Like they gotta work it out. Personally, especially for PC, it's like, you know what? You gotta give it a day or two. Well, okay, well, especially for always online games. So, while I disagree with that, like Suicide Squad has to be always online and they want you to shell out $70. Helldivers 2 in this case is 40. It's 40. It is currently, I think, always online, but they're playing an offline mode. That's fine with me. I mean, personally, I would just use offline mode because I just play with my friends, but still, it's just, I don't know why. Assuming again that he is being serious about this, I don't know why he hates PC gaming. Maybe because it's ruining his console experience. Also, most games competitively run at PC, not like on console. Only because, you know, you can't get like the stupid amount of frames and optimization you can. But nowadays, I guess for Call of Duty and stuff like that, the controller aim assist is so good that it makes it worthwhile, and they're kind of bridging the gap. But then, personally, actually, I'll give this to console players. It must be nice to not always have to deal with cheaters and mods. It's so much harder to put cheats into a console than it is for PC. 100% full stop, as people would say. So that I'll give him, but I don't know. I think PC all the way. I'm not even trying to be a PC elitist. I think both have their values. It's just saying that PC is a blight on gaming is such a wild take, because it has so many benefits that the consoles don't have. So, I mean, I didn't think. I was gonna say I didn't think Kind of Funny was that funny anyway, but I haven't seen enough episodes to make that judgment. Maybe this is all just a comedy take. Maybe we're all getting riled up over nothing. It's just the way he goes, "We got him," but it's very confusing, and I hope it's clarified. I actually hope we kind of take. Well, I don't really care if he takes it back. It shows who he is, assuming it is true. So, anyway, tell me what you guys think. Like, comment, subscribe, become a member today, join our Discord, and I'll see you guys next time.